Welcome guys, Lunatic96 here, and today I'm going to be doing another figure review. So if you watch my G-Fest haul, you guys should know who's up next, and that figure is the big, old, menacing Gmk Godzilla from the 8-inch line. By Bandai, of course. But anyway, so I guess I'll go quickly onto his history. Since he is Godzilla, you guys really should know what he's from. He's from Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Attack, or abbreviated to GMK. So the whole plot about this Godzilla was supposed to be the exact one that appeared in the original Gojira movie from 1954. So yeah, it was supposed to be how many years later. And this incarnation of Godzilla was, like, fueled by the souls of dead Japanese soldiers that are angry against Japan for war and everything like that. So, yeah, that's his whole fuel. And because of that, he becomes out as a more bigger and badder Godzilla than the original. And in the movie, you see that he really is, because he was so powerful to the point that he was able to destroy 3 monsters with not very much problem, actually. But yeah, and eventually he got killed because of this wound that was on his body, and he was the government or the military that was trying to defeat him ended up drilling into the wound, and that ended up killing him. But in the end of the movie, you actually still saw his heart beating, which leads a lot to question about that. Like, is he still alive? I mean, his heart's beating. It doesn't really make sense because what's it beating to? But it's a movie about gigantic lizards. Oh, a gigantic Tyrannosaurus Stegosaurus monster. So yeah, that's basically the whole gist of this appearance. Now I'll go to his tag quickly. Here's his tag. He's from the 8-inch Bandai line. You know, the GMK line, in which they released the other monsters from the movie, and they released Baragon in 6-inch form, which was cool. So yeah, there's a nice pic of, that's actually when he appeared on the mountainside. And, you know, I got typical stats and everything. And 1954, I wonder why that's there. Yeah, all the stats and everything, and of course I showed you already the back. So yeah, that's his card, typical. And I guess we'll go into detail first, and I'm sorry this is kind of stupidish, but I'm going to have to take my camera off the stand just so I can show you the detail closely, because this guy's huge, so yeah, I'm going to have to take it off the stand. But yeah, as you can see, the detail on this guy is pretty good. I mean, it's not the best work Bandai's ever done, but it's good enough to make the figure look like he's supposed to. Because, you know, you got all the, you know, typical individual grooves and scales etched in onto the figure. You know, you got that really bumpy arm, little shoulder, and then it just gets flatter and as it goes down the arm. Got the typical arm. Well, actually, his arm pose is more of a T-Rex pose. Because, yeah, his arms, I think, are supposed to be a bit smaller. Kind of like, the 54 Godzilla, which is kind of cool. You got his huge feet. All the scales on the body. Lines on the feet. Look good. And on the toes. Got a good chest plate. As always. Even though this Godzilla, I don't know, it looks like he's kind of fat. That's what I've always thought of this Godzilla, is that he's a really fat one. But I guess that's what he was supposed to, because again, he was supposed to look like the 54, which was a big fat suit, so yeah. Makes sense. He's got a very different head. It's very, like, just flat. Usually spikes lead up there, or, you know, it's curved like a head, but no, this one's very reminiscent to a T-Rex head. Just flat. And of course, you got the nice long tail. And the scales. So yeah, detail on this figure all around is what he should be. Nothing excellent to the point where it's great, but it's nothing terrible. So yeah, good detail. Now, onto articulation. I'll get that out of the way. He's got, I believe 6 points. Well, let's see. So he's got the head articulation, which I always like. Love my head articulations. You know, got arms move 360. The big legs move 360. This one seems a bit looser. And the tail moves 360. Be careful with the tail, I think, because it's kind of oval shaped. If you can see that, but yeah. So yeah, you got 6 points. Very good. Very good. Alright, so let's get on to scaling. Now I'll get to the figures that he was supposed to be in line with. First off, my favorite, Gmk Baragon. Now this looks pretty accurate. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but for what I remember, yeah, this looks actually not too bad. Because, of course, Baragon is supposed to be a small monster compared to the big Gmk Godzilla in the film, but, like, the scene I always remember is when Baragon's on the ground and he's pummeling him, or when he's at the top looking down at him, and, yeah, this actually looks pretty good, because, as I said in my Gmk Baragon, this guy is supposed to fit in scale with him, and he does pretty well. So, yeah, he works. And, of course, my newly acquired other Gmk monster, Gmk Mothra. Yeah, this looks pretty good too. I think Mothra might need to be a bit smaller, but that doesn't look too bad. Like, I always remember when she flies by right here and, like, hits him in the back of the head or so. Or that might have been Tokyo, I don't remember. But yeah, this actually doesn't look too bad either. Just, I think Mothra needs to be a bit smaller, but, honestly, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. And I don't have a Gmk huge, well, the big 8-inch Gmk Ghidorah, so I guess I'll just show the 6-inch just for comparison. Yeah, doesn't work, but that's because it's 6-inch, 8-inch, what do you expect? But yeah, just showing you the comparison there. And before I forget, I'm going to pull one more figure out, which is actually pretty fitting. Because originally, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but originally in the movie, there was going to be 3 different monsters. Well, at least 2 different ones. They were going to have a lot of the obscured monsters. Like, they were, well, not obscured, but I guess the ones that aren't appreciated very much, or I guess they can kind of be obscured. So they were going to have Baragon, Varan, and Anguirus as the original 3. But, of course, they wanted more profit value out of the monsters, so they changed 2 of the monsters to Ghidorah and Mothra. But they kept Baragon, thankfully. So you got the nice, really good redesign. So yeah, I've been showing this guy off a lot, but in this one it really makes sense. The Anguirus Showa. Now, of course, this isn't the best, but doesn't look too bad. Yeah, he needs to be a lot bigger, of course, because, you know, well, it's kind of funny because he is an 8-inch figure, and so is he, but, yeah, 8-inch back then, I guess, is not like it is now, so, yeah, of course, bigger, but, I don't know, if you really want to go for a small Anguirus big Godzilla movie, this works pretty good. So yeah, that's that comparison. And finally, onto paint job. Now, paint job is very basic on this guy. It's, you know, the typical charcoal black Godzilla. He's actually really charcoal black. I was actually surprised. And of course, he's got the nice, well, it's kind of weird. His eye color, you'd think it'd be white, kind of like the Bandai Creation version, but no, it's actually the same color of his spines, which is a light, well, darkish blue. It's kind of weird. Meanwhile, his claws are that nice peachy tobacco teeth colored on the nails. Same with the toes. And they even colored the undertoe. You know, that doesn't happen all the time. And then, of course, you got the... It's also on the teeth, too, that peachy color. And then you got the red tongue. And the spines, which actually aren't accurate to the suit. Yeah, that's... Well, it's not a first, but that's different. Because his coloring for his spines is actually what the Bandai Creation version is, which I'll grab quickly. It's supposed to be this more, like, whitish T-bone color for the back spine, but yeah, instead they went for this bluish color, which I guess they're trying to go for more of a older Godzilla look, but yeah. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good on the figure. I think it looks really good on the figure, but of course, if you want more accurate, it'd have to be this color, but it doesn't look too bad in my opinion. So yeah, paint job is good. You know, this is the only really big flaw. So yeah, that's this review in a nutshell. Sorry if I dragged it on a bit or if I was stopping a few seconds. Yeah, I guess that happens sometimes, but whatever. So, yeah, that's the Gmk Godzilla. Now, that funny story I kind of mentioned in, my G-Fest haul, it was basically when I was at G-Fest, this was the main main figure I was trying to get at G-Fest this year, because, you know, everyone has him. He's a good 8-inch. He goes well with my Baragon, so I really wanted someone in scale with Baragon. So, yeah, he was my big hunt for G-Fest. And ironically, usually this guy is pretty common in G-Fest, I heard. But there were not many of this guy. Instead, they actually had a lot more of the, like, scarred one from Tokyo SOS. And, you know, the other ones from the later 2000 Millennium movies. But yeah, only a few sellers had this guy. Some of them were the theater exclusives, while other ones were just, I guess, you know, also different colors like the theater exclusives. But there's only 2 guys that I could actually find this correct paint job with. One of them was selling this guy without a tag for $70-something, and you know, that's kind of stupid. You know, but whatever. And another seller was selling this guy for $40 with tag. So yeah, I guess it's kind of bad that I had to pay $40 for this guy, considering he's not very rare, but yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, I really wanted to get the guy, and you know, I'm happy I had him, so yeah. So a price range for you guys to stay in, I would say, like 35 or below. If you find one for a very expensive, make sure it's got a tag, because I honestly wouldn't really pay $60-something or without a tag, because it's just ridiculous, but yeah, that's the price range I recommend. But anyway, enough dragging this review on. So yeah, all in all, well, I'll just, go over my things. So, detail is really pretty good, you know, typical Bandai, as I always say. Nothing, like, outstanding, but nothing terrible. Good old good. So, and articulation's good, 6 points, as much as you'd expect, or much as you'd want on a Godzilla figure. Scaling is pretty good with the figures it's supposed to go with. With the other ones, it's not, but, I mean, it's 8-inch, what do you expect? And paint job is decent, although a little incorrect. So, all in all, I'm going to probably give this guy a 4.5 out of 5. He's basically the best, well, at least in my opinion, he's probably the best GMK version of this. Wow. Sorry, this is the best GMK Godzilla you can own. There you go. The only reason he did get a perfect 5 was because, I guess, the inaccurate paint job on the scales, but honestly, it's all up to you. That's all I can say. It's inaccurate, but I think it looks really good on the figure. So, yeah. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Well, also, I'm dragging this on even more. The detail. It's not the best, so yeah, I guess that kind of drags it down a bit, but not as much as the scales, if you're very picky like that. or, you know, just want a really accurate figure. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this incredibly long review. I'm sorry, but I guess that happens. So anyway, I will see you guys later.